Hi guys, welcome to Freeze Drying Mama. I'm glad you're back. Tonight we are talking about cheese. I love cheese. My daughter and I actually eat keto, and so for us, anytime where we don't have access to mozzarella cheese or cheddar cheese, it's kind of an urgency. It's like a feeling of panic because everything is made with cheese. And I also think that at the end of the world, which everybody's always prepping for, we want lasagna. I need lasagna. So we will have lasagna because we're going to be freeze drying cheese. Wherever you're at, you can access cheese, I'm sure right now. I buy my cheese at Costco. It's pre-shredded. This isn't the only kind of cheese that I do, but this is a nice, fast, easy rotation, food item rotation that I put into my my schedule. So when I've just been prepping and I've used all my trays up, everything's ready. This one is really fast. You'll see just how fast it is when I get started. I do the cheddar cheese and I do the mozzarella cheese. Again, like I said, they're from Costco. They're pre-shredded. There's 2.5 pounds in a bag and they're ready to go. I really like these ones because they reconstitute beautifully. They don't come out looking like the other, like real cheese. I mean, when it freeze dries, what happens is it comes out kind of like styrofoam, and then you can break it and it tastes like cheese and stuff, but you have to actually put it into a dish for it to reconstitute the correct way. So I'll be showing you that at the end of the video. I'll show you how to reconstitute it in ways that you can do it and ways you can eat it. I will probably eat some on screen because I like food and I like cheese. So it works well for me. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to tilt the camera again and I'm gonna show you exactly how I prepare my cheese and how I put it on here. All right guys, so you can see my tray. This time I'm not gonna use a silicone mat. You can still use a silicone mat. You can still use your parchment paper, whatever you need to do. But in this specific one, I'm just gonna go with the pans. I like the pans sometimes, and I know that these are ready to go into the trays just like they are. And I think I have my silicone mats being used with something else anyway, with one of my other dishes that's in rotation. So I'm just gonna go with this. So, now I remember, I don't measure or weigh. I usually don't because I know what my machine can handle. And if you'll check out the beginners videos, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say, hey, you've got space for your trays. Right here, I like to just kind of push it around, make sure that it has space, because when this happens, when the lyophilization process happens, it's going to freeze what's on your tray, and then it's going to heat it up on the trays, right? So you have this vacuum, the trays get heated and the water turns into a vapor as it evaporates, and then that's put into the air or the space, and that's sucked against the drum. We cover that in the how-to in the beginner videos. You don't need a lot of space in between these because they already have space, and air and water is extremely finite. So it's not like it needs a big space to get out, right? So that's why shredded is fine. Go ahead and load those suckers up. They won't lose a lot of mass when they lose the water because there's not a ton in here as it is. And freeze drying is something that freezes and holds the status of the item. It just doesn't keep the moisture in. So it actually helps it last a lot longer. And who doesn't want cheese at the end of the world? So I'm gonna set these up really quickly. You can go ahead and watch as we're going, and but it's gonna get fast and you're not gonna hear me talking. Okay, as you can see now, I've got 4 trays. I have 5 pounds of cheddar between 3 trays, and I have just over 2 pounds of mozzarella on the bottom tray. I won't completely use this this bag with this tray, so I'll probably just have my daughter make me some fathead pizza dough or something. I obviously make messes when I do this, and that's totally fine to do. You do whatever you need to do. But next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the freeze dryer and we're gonna put these in. Okay, perfect. You can see I'm putting these in the trays, and I have a method to my madness, as you'll learn when you look through the beginner videos. I like to put my shortest amount or my least amount of tray, or that looks like it's less dense, on the bottom, because that seems to be the one that takes the longest. Even when they're all exactly the same, the bottom one always takes the longest for me. So get them in there situated nice and tight. You can come in and you can see kind of what it looks like. This is that space I was talking about. There's plenty of space. I probably could have put another ½ pound of cheese on each of those trays. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is ignore the mess. I'm gonna put this on here. And then I'm gonna close it. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna see, this is how we're gonna do our cheese. We're gonna hit start. This is a non-liquid, and it is not pre-frozen. And these suckers can get kind of loud, but that's okay. And that's also, we're also in a room that doesn't have a carpet. It has wood flooring, so it's gonna be extra loud feeling. I'm gonna go down here, and I'm gonna close my drain valve to make sure it's closed. And then back up here, I'm gonna hit continue. Now it's started. Here, we're gonna check the cheese. It's kind of loud again. I'm gonna hit cancel, as you can see right here. And what I need to do is I need to come down here and open up the drain valve. Because you can see right here, as the air is coming out, the line is getting smaller because it's letting that vacuum out. So we're gonna pop it open. There's usually condensation or whatever, especially in the summer when it's warm and this is really cold. I usually keep a towel nearby so I can dry that. I don't want any extra moisture getting onto my item. And this is cheese, remember we did the cheese. So what I do, I know a lot of people use thermometers and stuff, and that's fine. Thermometers are great. I don't do that. So what I do is I think, okay, how can, what do I know about the process that's going to work? And if you've looked in the beginners videos, you'll know that what I do is I check with my hands. I check with my bare hands. I have mom hands, so I can usually tell if my kids are above 97.8, or I can tell just by touch. And so I've learned what the touch is for what the food should be. It's going to be hot. Some of them are hotter than others. Just at the beginning of this video, I told you that my lower tray shelf is not as warm as the rest of them, and that's why I put the lower ones there. So on this one, I can feel, yes, the trays are really hot, so the food item should be hot. If it's not hot, if it's cold at all, that means it's not done. That means that there's still moisture in there holding that temperature in there, okay? So if it is finished appropriately, it should be warm. And if you can hear it, it's really, that's not what shredded cheese really sounds like. It sounds like it's styrofoam. So that's another way that you know it's done, is it's crispy. Now I'm gonna break it too, so you can hear how it's broken. And I always eat it because it's my favorite. So that's what we're gonna do, is I'm just gonna pull these out. And these suckers will stack nice because I know that they're all done. I always check them, but I can tell that they're done because my lowest one was done. So then what's going to happen is my son, who's videoing, is going to come up close, and he's going to show you what the inside of the drum looks like on the ice. So that's the water that was collected from all of this cheese that we put in there. So I pushed on here defrost so that you can actually hear me, because I knew the item was done. But you normally have the 4 different options, and I'll put a screenshot up here of what the options are so that you can see in the video. But up here I hit defrost because it was finished. Now that I've removed the product from the tray, I'm going to close the door. The door cover is not necessary for this, and I'm going to lock it. I'm not going to open the drain valve. I'm not going to close the drain valve because I need the water, the moisture, to go down into the bucket. Then I'll hit continue. And now for 2 hours, it's going to heat the chamber up nice and hot so that ice melts. You can see that right now it's been running for 21 hours and 31 minutes. It's at 106 degrees Fahrenheit. It's got 2 hours, and this orange right here tells me that it is busy. Now, if I wanted to, I could hit end now, but there's no point in hitting end now. This machine has a 2-hour defrost time for a reason. It wants it to defrost. It wants it to do all those things, so it has a minute to breathe. And that's okay. Let my machine breathe. This is Frosty, and I want him to always be working for me. So I give him his time to defrost, give him a chance to kind of do his thing, and let my vacuum pump kind of cool off a little bit too. So now we're going to go out, we're going to package the cheese. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the pints or the quarts size bags. I really like these. I get them from Pack Fresh. I love the thickness. I get the 7 mil. Some people get different sizes. Some people swear by 5. I know some people that use the 2 milliliters. I really prefer the 7. And this one is not a resealable. You can see where the top notch is, where I will be opening it when I'm ready to use these. These do not have the Ziploc on them. This is because it's cheese. I'm using this one for cheese. Let me get a resealable so I can show you the difference. So the resealable has the vacuum, it has that seal like a Ziploc. I'm not doing these for cheese because the cheese, I know with my family, I have 8 people in my family, so I know that we're going to be eating the cheese. There's no doubt about it. It'll go into a meal, it'll go into some kind of something. It will get eaten. In fact, I even like eating it like a snack. Literally, it tastes like a cheese puff. Well, you can have one. My son's here. He's recording with me, so he's probably gonna be snacking. My favorite is the cheddar, but I do like Monterey Jack as well. I don't usually find that shredded. You can, but it's not really cost effective to do, so I usually slice those into slices and do them. Now, when you do cheese, if you're not gonna be doing them as a snack, which is again what we will be doing as a snack, I'll show you that. These are as a snack, but you can also reconstitute them in like a lasagna. These are great if you have like a soup to sprinkle them on. Tacos, they're gonna do great as with tacos because they absorb the moisture around them. Now, if I do this, so what I've done is I've gotten just a little dish of water and I'm gonna dip this cheese into it and we're gonna kind of see what happens. What I think is gonna happen is it's gonna kind of get that, it's not gonna reconstitute the right way. I can already tell it's kind of getting that slimy feel to it. You know how when you've left it in the fridge too long or out too long, it kind of gets too much moisture on it? That's kind of what it does when it reconstitutes, and it's kind of slippery because it's not really designed for this. However, if I put this into a soup, or like I could use this for tacos tonight for dinner, like I said, sprinkle it on there, sprinkle it into a fajita mix, anything that I want, it'll do what I want. It doesn't have the crunch that it has, but it still tastes freeze-dried. Again, these are some of my absolute favorites. This is how I'm going to scoop this for you and show you. I don't have to do anything fancy. I know from my experience that half of this will fit into one of these bags nicely so it doesn't crumble and get powdered. So I will have 8 bags. Okay, so I've got 8 bags, and then this is literally what I do. I take the bag, kind of open it like this. I eyeball it. Again, remember, everybody's different. If you want to be exact and measure it out, you totally can do that. I know people who do that. They want to do the whole laboratory style, and that's great. That works for them. For me, I don't have time. I'm trying to get dinner on for the family. I'm trying to fit this into my busy life. I work like 5 different full-time jobs here at home. I really just want to get stuff done, and this is for my own food storage. So I'll just use a regular spatula without any slots in it. As you can see, it's just an easy silicone one. It doesn't matter, it's stainless steel. If you can use a metal one if you have one, but I usually eyeball it and do about half. So about like this. It's not gonna hurt anything. If I wanted to, I could add more in there. The bag will hold more. In fact, I think I will with this one. Maybe I can fit 2/3 of the tray in, because I didn't fill these trays up as high as I usually go for demonstration purposes. But yeah, I'll just keep loading these, and it's great. It's cheese. It can do so much for you. So we'll probably go about that, and I'll do that with all of them. So that might save me a few bags. And then I'll just keep loading and loading and loading, and then these trays will slip right into the dishwasher. They can go on the bottom or the top shelf because they're stainless steel. And then I will go on to the next item in my rotation that I've got scheduled. Sometimes my friends bring things, like my friend has a bunch of chickens and they've been going crazy in this summer heat. So they will be, she'll have tons of eggs, and I think I'm working on them next. And it's great because she'll just have me do some for her. I know she's got her freeze dryer waiting right now. So you can see how we just keep going and keep going and just keep going. And usually I have little kids who come and try to sneak a little bit from me and Trust me, that happens a lot. In fact, I've had more than one tray disappear when I'm doing this because I have kids running around when I'm doing breakfast and they're hungry and they'll grab the cookies or they'll grab the cheese or whatever they can grab. The only thing I haven't seen that them grab is the raw eggs, and I think I had beets on one tray, and my husband was like, yeah, I don't like those so much, and he's my beet lover. So we'll see how they turn out, if he likes them again when I do something different with them. But I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you with the cheese, understanding how to freeze dry and store your cheese. It's a great way to take cheese into food storage without having to sacrifice the flavor, which is one of the reasons I love cheese. Hit the subscribe button, and I hope you like my other videos. If you're new to freeze drying, check out the beginner videos where it says start here for the playlist, and go ahead and check and see just how much you want to do freeze drying. I think it's a super blast fun, like we tell the kids, super blast fun. It's so much fun, and I hope that you do too. Thanks, you guys.